This is indeed the Michael K. Show. We thank you for joining us on this Monday, October 6, 2025. Michael K. with you for the fastest 2 hours in sports talk radio. And we'll start off with what is one of the worst Sundays that you could get in New York sports. You got the Giants getting embarrassed by a formerly winless team. You have the Jets getting embarrassed by a team that's missing 4 of its offensive linemen, and the Jets are now 0-5. And that's just the sidebar. The main story is the Yankees are down 2-0 to the Toronto Blue Jays. They are on the precipice of having their season ending. Now, today is an off day, so it will not end today. They go at it again tomorrow at Yankee Stadium, and we'll see if they could stay alive. We'll see if they have a 3-game winning streak in their bones. So we'll start with that. The Yankees just looked awful in Toronto. In fact, they have looked awful in Toronto all year. They're 1-8 north of the border. And they got embarrassed. There's no other way to put it. It's an embarrassment what happened to the Yankees over the weekend. They were outscored 23-8. So Toronto scored 23 runs in 16 innings. Now, I say 16 and not 18 because they didn't have to bat in the bottom of the 9th inning. The games were never in doubt. They were never in doubt. So, yesterday, it was Max Fried. The day before, it was Luis Heel. Yankees last night, or yesterday, lost 13-7. And they got shut down by a kid who started the season in the Florida State League, Trey Yavich. He threw 5 1/3 no-hit dominating innings, 11 strikeouts. Before yesterday, he had pitched 14 major league innings. Yesterday was his 4th big league start. So what the Blue Jays and Yavich did, they watched what Schlittler did in Game 3 against the Red Sox, and they said, hold my beer. I mean, Schlittler is a grizzled veteran compared to Yavich. Schlittler was making his 15th start. Yavich was making his 4th big league start. Yankees had no chance against him. They couldn't hit his splitter. He had a slider that he threw effectively. He got a fastball by him. They looked absolutely lost. Lost. So all the good feelings that we all had after they beat the Red Sox, they've almost been all washed away with 2 dispiriting losses in Toronto. And the wild ones are out already. It's Boone's fault. It's Cashman's fault. Well, how about the players' fault? Max Fried, who pitched brilliantly in Game 1 against the Red Sox, was dreadful yesterday. Dreadful. And afterward, he said, I usually like to keep the hitters off balance. They were never off balance. The Yankees' problem, I think we all know it. First of all, it's the pitching the first 2 days. And also, they're not hitting home runs. You had a so what home run yesterday by Bellinger. Got the Yankees their first 2 runs. But so far in the postseason, no home runs by Stanton, no home runs by Judge, no home runs by Rice, no home runs by Grisham. This is a team that out-homered the second-place team in baseball by 30 home runs. And I've given you the stat before. If the Yankees hit 2 or more home runs, they win 70% of the time. Now, they didn't home runs against the Red Sox either. But I'm going to give you a little secret, everybody. Give me a little secret. Red Sox are not as good as the Blue Jays. The Red Sox didn't have an offense that was going to scare anybody. And Roman Anthony, probably their best player, was not playing because of an injury. This Blue Jay team gets on base more than any team in baseball. They don't strike out. They're probably middle of the pack in home runs. But I know that I'm, public enemy number one in Toronto because of what I said before that July series where, they're outplaying the Pythagorean theorem where they did not have a great run differential. Didn't mean that they weren't a good team. I was just saying they outplayed the run differential, and the Yankees have underplayed their run differential. The Yankees shouldn't have finished in a tie with Toronto according to the run differential. They should have had 97 wins, and the Blue Jays, instead of the 94 they ended up with, should have had 89. That's if you do the calculus of run differential. But what does it matter? The Blue Jays just outplayed teams. And you know what? They certainly had the run differential this weekend, didn't they? It's an embarrassment. There's no other way to put it. Now, are the Yankees done? No, they're not done. They've dug themselves quite an enormous hole. But if you want to hang your hat on any kind of positive feeling, and I would never bet this. I don't think it's likely. I'm just giving you the road to climbing out of this. You got Shane Bieber, who's made 7 starts since coming off the IL, starting for the Blue Jays. Then you have Carlos Rodon, lowest batting average against in all of baseball, going for the Yankees. And I hate this phrase, but it's used so much, I decided I'd apply it here. The Yankees have to be where their feet are, starting tomorrow. They cannot, under any circumstance, think about winning 3 in a row. You win tomorrow. That's it. Then when you win tomorrow, you've got Schlittler going against a bullpen game for the Blue Jays. You win that one, and then you force a Game 5 in Toronto where the Yankees can't seem to win. And Max Fried will get another try, and it will not be against Yasavage. It will be against Gausman. There's your path. But if the Yankees aren't going to hit home runs, they're not going to win. Can they hit home runs against Bieber? We'll see. Bieber is a grizzled veteran, and it was a smart move by the Blue Jays to make that trade with Cleveland because they knew they were a little short on pitching. And boy, I don't think they thought they were this short. Barrios, IL. Bassett, not on the active roster, although I think he thinks he should have been. Max Scherzer was awful in September, not on the active roster. That's 3 pitchers down. And still they're up 2-0 over the Yankees. I don't know what to tell you. Now, another popular narrative is Aaron Judge. And I'm going to push back just a little bit, everybody. He has not gotten the big hit. He has not hit the home run. But it's certainly hard to hang everything on his shoulders when he is 8 for 18 with 2 walks and 2 RBIs. Now, the only extra base hit, a double yesterday when the game was essentially over. But when you're hitting 444, are you really going to blame him? Now, it might come down to that an at-bat that he had in Game 1 might be the biggest at-bat of all. Bases loaded, nobody out. Gausman's on the mound. Yankees down 2-0. And he strikes out after a long at-bat on a pitch diving down and away that was well out of the strike zone. That's the one thing that Judge did not do all season, expand the strike zone. But I think he's feeling the need to produce. And he swung at a pitch that was out of the strike zone. Now, the next batter, Cody Bellinger, walked in a run. So that made it 2-1. But the Yankees could have broken it open right there. It was almost like that first game against the Red Sox, where they lost that game 3-1. They had the bases loaded in the 9th inning, and they didn't score. They had the bases loaded and nobody out in the 6th inning against Gausman, and they could manage only 1 run on a bases loaded walk. They could not get the big blow. But if you're going to blame all of this on Judge, I don't know what to tell you. In the past, he's hit under 200 with runners in scoring position. In the past, he has not produced in the postseason, albeit an occasional big hit like the home run against Clase last year. But you're going to put all of this on a guy who's hitting 444 in the postseason? I don't know what to tell you. He can only do what the pitchers give him. Can't make the ball fly out of the park. He's hitting the ball hard. But I thought that Stanton said it best. If we don't hit home runs, we're not going to win. He's right. And that includes Judge, and that includes Stanton. We have not seen playoff G at all. Now, there is one narrative that's out there that I kind of think is an embarrassment to the Yankees. And people are saying it, they're dancing around it, but they're not really coming out and saying it. So they're kind of intimating that there's something untoward going on at the home ballpark that the Blue Jays play. You know, Chris Carlin on the show right before ours was talking about, you know, the runs scored is much more at home. Other numbers he gave, much more at home. Well, you can say that about most teams. Most teams play better in their home ballpark. But here's what I would like to say where I say it's an embarrassment. Because even some of the Yankees are intimating. Like Weaver, after that rough outing in the first game, said, you know, they want me to change. They think I'm tipping, whatever the case may be. You know, kind of intimating that, you know, the other team is picking up signs. Well, he's struggled for a lot of the season. It's not just the Blue Jays in Toronto. And then yesterday, Max Fried, well, you know, they were on all of my pitches. They were that's code for why were they on all of my pitches? Why weren't they off balance? Well, here's where I say it's insulting to the Blue Jays, okay? You're 1-8 in Toronto. I'm just talking about the Yankees. You're 1-8. And if something is, in fact, untoward going on, figure it out. Figure it out. You got swept in July there in a 4-game set that changed the whole course of the American League East. That's where the Blue Jays took over, and they never relinquished. Figure it out. If you think that they're doing something weird or they're doing something illegal, figure it out. Don't sit back and woe is me. Even Buster Only on our morning show was hinting it. So come out and say it. If you think that something is happening, come out and say it. Give me specifics. Otherwise, shut up and play better. You're insulting a team that has shown you from the entire season on they've done a really, really good job playing baseball. They don't strike out. They put the ball in play, and they don't strike out on the road either. They put the ball in play. They make the plays defensively. But you're going to hint and intimate that they're doing something illegal. That's on you. If you think they're doing something illegal, you had all year since July to figure out what it is. All year. And please somebody explain to me how people are picking up signs when the entire game is played with pitch comm. There's no more fingers going down with the catcher giving signs. You hit a button, and that's it. What, did they tap into the frequency, Kenneth? That's on you to figure it out. And unless you could prove it, shut up. Don't hint at it. That's not fair to the Blue Jays. Because I'll tell you one thing, if you win these 2 games in New York, you got to go back to Toronto. Because the fact that they beat you in the regular season is why they won the tiebreaker. You both had the same record, but they get home field advantage, and they didn't have to play in the first round because they had the better record against you. Right now, you've played them 15 times. And they're 10-5 against you. And you're 4-2 at Yankee Stadium, and you're 1-8 in Toronto. So please spare me the nonsense that they're I don't know why, but they're on all my pitches. Figure it out. If you're tipping, that's on you, not on them. That really chaps me. I hate all the tiptoeing around the accusations. Why are you diminishing what they've done? They kicked your butt. And nobody has come out and said it. I'm not saying that. Some people in the media are certainly hinting at it. But let's say they have something on your pitchers. Let's just say, okay? How do you explain what Trey Yavich did yesterday? How do you explain that? How do you explain that you were overmatched and struck out 11 times against a neophyte? How do you explain that? If you think they're doing something wrong, fix it. Otherwise, shut up. Stop hinting. Stop tiptoeing around accusations. And all the media out there, you should all be ashamed of yourself too, unless you have something specific. Because the media is not just saying something out of their backside. They're being whispered that by other people. Who those people are, I don't know. Don't make excuses. Make adjustments. Don't put it on cheating. Be better. And if you win these 2 games tomorrow and Wednesday, you better figure it out. Because why even go to Toronto if there's some boogeyman there that's figuring everything out before you do it? Figure it out. You've had 9 games to figure it out, and you've won one of them. That's harsh, man. It's really harsh. You're going to take away all the glory that this team has by accusing them of cheating without accusing them. So that's the best of both worlds. You don't admit that we just got our butts kicked. No, you've got people carrying your water about, oh, they might be doing something untoward. Figure it out. Sorry, I'm going to keep repeating that. It's not on the Blue Jays. It's on you. It's on you. You hear any trash cans banging? No. Maybe they're just better at home. They've got a raucous crowd. It's deafening in there. It's artificial turf, which is hard to play for a visiting team. Don't give me that they're doing something wrong. I don't want to hear it. And if they are, shame on you for not figuring it out and reporting it to Major League Baseball. And you know why? Because I don't think they're doing anything wrong. They're just outplaying you. So if it is the boogeyman in Toronto, well, that means you have to win tomorrow and Wednesday. Now you're in the nice safety of Yankee Stadium. Now win. Okay, if it's their home field, and not that they're better than you, if it's the home field, then win tomorrow and Wednesday and force a Game 5, deciding Game 5 in Toronto. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see. It is strange, though. Like Max Fried has had one of the best years you'd ever want to have a pitcher have. But his ERA in Toronto in 3 games is like 9. Why? Again, it's on you to figure it out. Are you tipping pitches? Don't tip them anymore. I mean, he pitched terribly yesterday. 3 innings, 7 runs. And the weird part was he was throwing 99 miles an hour. That's the fastest pitch he's thrown all year. That was on a sinker. His sinker during the regular season averaged 94. So he had velocity. He didn't have command. And here's another little secret I'll give everybody. How about trying to get out Vlad Guerrero? He's 6 for 9. The grand slam yesterday was the insult to injury. How about stopping him? And you can't say, well, he's been red hot. No, he hasn't been. Do you know coming into this series, he had not hit a home run in 89 plate appearances? 89! Do you know coming into this series, you know what his numbers were in playoff baseball? 3 for 22. Do you realize that since Bo Bichette went down, he's not been near the player that he was previously? But he is now. There's still no Bo Bichette. Now, teams that are leading in a best-of-5 series 2 games to nothing, they've won 80 of 90 series. 80 of 90. So I'm going to give you a little hope again. In the organization's history, the Yankees have fallen behind in a best-of-5 series 0-2 4 times. They've come back to win that series twice. Once against the A's in 2020. No, not 2020. 2001. And then in 2017 against Cleveland. So the Yankees have done it 50% of the time, while the rest of baseball has essentially done it less than 10% of the time. But what does that mean? All right, Judge was on that 2017 team, but who else? This is a separate story and now they've dug themselves a hole that they have to climb out of. They've got to climb out of that hole. It's up to them. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not the type that makes excuses. You kick my butt. I said you kicked my butt. I don't try to come up with nonsense to explain why you kicked my butt. Now, sometimes there is nonsense why people get their butts kicked, but you have to prove it. You have to prove it. So in 2017, it was proven. The Astros cheated. We know because they admitted it. So there, you have your receipt. Now, there are a lot of people in the Yankee organization that think that 2019, where everybody thought that Altuve strangely, kept clutching his chest after the walk-off home run against Chapman, he didn't want the shirt ripped off. So, there's always been a buzz about a buzzer or whatever. That never proven, so shut up. You can think all you want. Unless you prove it, shut up. If you've got receipts, let's see them. If you don't, I don't want to hear it. If you think something funky is going on in Toronto, prove it. If you can't prove it, shut up and play better. If you think they're stealing signs, hide your signs better. It's easy. It's a game of results. It's funny that in this world, we just don't like to admit the other team might be better. And I've got to be honest with you, coming into this series, I saw the pitching matchups. I thought for sure the Yankees were going to win the series. I thought for sure they were going to win the series. But they've been outplayed. Sometimes that's the answer. It's right there. 23-8. They've kicked your butt. Accept it. Now, show that you are worthy and win tomorrow and win on Thursday and win on Wednesday. Don't have whisper campaigns that something weird's going on in Toronto. I mean, they're on all of our pitches. Be better. Completely disguise everything that you're doing pitching. If you think that somehow they're tapping into the frequency of the pitch-com, then give your signs in another way. If you think they're stealing signs with a camera, hide yourself better. Hide your grips and the way you're delivering. Do it better. But don't clutch onto some nonsense when it's clear what they've done is they've kicked your butt for 2 games. Series isn't over. So don't get your ready-made excuses ready. And boy, if you find out, if you have proof that something really is going on in Toronto, then you're golden, right? But are you really golden because you had proof in 2017 and they still gave the Astros the World Series? They didn't take away the trophy. They didn't take away the rings. The only guy that got hurt by that whole scandal is Carlos Beltran. That's it. The only guy. Lost his managerial job without managing 1 game. He's the only guy. Cora's landed on his feet. Hinch landed on his feet. None of the players have suffered at all. Just Carlos Beltran, because he fell in that nebulous area of not player, not manager. But he was the player. But he had retired, and all of a sudden he wasn't protected by the players' union. That's the only guy that suffered any ramifications from the Astros cheating. Oh yeah, and Jim Crane had to pay, what, $5 million? Oh, boo-hoo. He's got that in his ashtray. But really, the world, the people that are being whispered to, you can't do that. You can't do that to the Blue Jays unless you have proof. Just say straight out, they, in those 2 games, they've been better than the Yankees. In the 9 games in Toronto, they've been much better than the Yankees. 8-1. 8-1. There's no boogeyman. They've outplayed you. Until you could prove me there's a boogeyman, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Talk some football. We have Steve Young coming up. I want to take your phone calls. I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of stuff to say, so let's do it. Let's get to it. But first, I want to tell you about FanDuel. That's right. The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets, from yards to touchdowns to who will win. With FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% PBT. That's right. You could get in on the action with a 30% PBT tonight during the Chiefs-Jaguars game on Monday Night Football. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/K to bet on the game. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with a gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Listen up, New York. It's football season, and you should be out there enjoying every play, every tailgate, every moment. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or sciatica, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. That's where Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain comes in. He's one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and dedicated to getting you back in the game. Here's the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical, image-guided procedures that get real results. Dr. Shaw treats everything from neck pain, back pain, migraines, nerve pain, and chronic joint pain. And he builds a custom game plan that's right for you. Same day or next day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. And yes, most major insurances are accepted. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Go to SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
Hey, let me ask you something. Would you seat your 3-year-old child on a windowsill? Would you seat them beside a lit fireplace or by the deep end of a pool? One last question. Would you seat your child in a car seat that's not correct for them? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Secure their future. Seat them in the correct car seat. For more information, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Sponsored by the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Did you know you can get more with New York Lottery Plus?
You pulling my leg?
No, seriously. Just enter scratch off and draw game tickets and get more points.
Pulling a fast one?
No. And you can put your points towards chances to win gift cards, cash prizes, and more.
Is this a stunt?
No, you even get points for playing new games.
You're pulling my chain, aren't you?
No.
Pulling my finger?
What? No, man, put that thing away.
Sorry.
Introducing New York Lottery Plus. Download the app, sign up, get more. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the weather first. before wearing face paint to the game.
Bro, your Go Cats is dripping into your nachos.
Oh, and now paint is in my eyes.
Interception! Did you see that?
No!
Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Out here, days are getting a little cooler, and mornings are starting with a few more layers. It's the season for more time at the grill, more feed for your animals. Heaters burn late into the night, and the woods start calling your name. We appreciate hard-working hands, shared moments, and love for our land. That's why season after season, we're here for your life out here. Tractor Supply.
Welcome back to the Michael K. Show, everybody. Yankees lose 13-7 to Toronto. So they're down 2-0. National League not active yesterday. The Mariners beat the Tigers 3-2 after losing an excruciating 11-inning game in Game 1. So that series is at 1-1. And obviously the Giants lose to the Saints 26-14. The Jets lose to the Cowboys 37-22. Not a great Sunday in New York. Not a great Sunday. All right, we're waiting on Steve Young, and as we do, I don't know if we're going to be able to get him today, but let's talk to you because you're the people I want to hear from. Let's go to Javier in Port St. Lucie. Start it off, Javier.
Hey, Michael. Always a pleasure speaking to you. I appreciate the opportunity once again.
You got it.
Hope all is well. Just wanted to respectfully disagree with your take on home runs or nothing. And I know you're more than likely basing it on analytics, but it's almost, like we're contradicting the whole situation. If you look at it with the Toronto Blue Jays, they're up 2-0 because they're hitting and they know their role when they're hitting.
Javier,
so, for
they had
example,
5 home runs yesterday.
Hitters,
the Blue Jays had 5 home runs. The team that homers the most wins.
But so you don't think that? Let me give you another example. When in playoffs in other sports, those teams, they adjust and adapt to who they're going to play. So my question to you would be, you don't think that the Blue Jays go in also thinking about hitting with 2 strikes or doing a better job when taking an extra pitch or so? You don't think that that's what has them a little bit more of an edge than the Yankees?
Well, I mean, first of all, they both finished with the exact same record, Javier. They both 94-win teams. They both tied for the best record in the American League. And there's 2 ways, I don't want PETA after me, but there's 2 ways to skin a cat. There are many ways to skin a cat. I'm sorry, there just are. So, I mean, to say that home runs don't matter, don't give me analytics, by the way, are proof. The proof is in the pudding. It's black and white. You hit more home runs, you're going to win. And to just dismiss the fact that the Blue Jays had 5 home runs yesterday, and you just glossed over the fact. The fact that the Yankees are down 0-2, they are not hitting ball out of the park. And they're not built to be that team. Sorry. And the analytics, the proof is when you hit 2 home runs or more, you win 70% of the time. And it's harder to hit home runs in the postseason, but there's also fact there that more runs are scored via the home run in the postseason than in the regular season. Why do people fight that? Yeah, you want people with a 2-strike approach. Like Cody Bellinger. He hit 29 home runs this year, but with 2 strikes, he shortened up. I think that's the proper way to look at it. Some people don't have two strikes approaches. That's why CC Sabathia said he would love pitching today because everybody's wailing and bailing with 2 strikes. The Blue Jays are not that team. The Yankees, like many others, they are always trying to hit home runs. The home run we hit every Monday is we get a chance to talk to the great Steve Young, and he joins us now. Steve, how you doing?
Michael, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well. Before we talk about the mess that's the Jets and the Giants, so Amari DiMercato, all right? He's crossing the goal line, drops the ball before. This is like the 3rd time this happened this season for a player, and he cost the Cardinals essentially the game. If you're a teammate, does a teammate say you've got to stop this nonsense because it keeps going on and on and on? I know people want to look cool and everything, but how does another teammate reconcile a mistake like that?
I think, what I would do is I would fine anyone that didn't take it through the end zone and come out the other side and then drop it. Like you get fined. Like, we're going to take money from you. We're not going to have games. Like, think about what goes into trying to get a win in the NFL and how much goes through people's lives, or like everything's at stake, and you can't. That's just one of the things you can't not care enough to bring the ball across the goal line. It's insane that we don't have that, because most of the stuff that happens on the field, Michael, is reflexive. It's because you've done it since you were 7 years old. And so as you get these kind of constant reflexes, your reaction, your unconscious reaction is to do certain things, protect the ball. It all happens reflexively in many ways. And that's why the people that care the most are the ones that the reflexes are more established. And so it's just a sign of not caring enough. And so to me, like, you can't have it. Like, either you have to cut people. Like, see you later. We're not going to do it. Or you fine them, or just because the reflex needs to be built. In other words, if they were in the field and someone's going to tackle them, they're going to hold the ball tighter. They're going to protect it. They're going to make sure that they don't lose it, because they know that fumbles are going to change the game. Obviously, the reflex is not built for these guys, and they have to build it. And that's practice. That's doing stuff. And you actually have to take the time and practice. And okay, we're going to have practice holding the ball across the goal line. Let's go through it. Let's get the reflex built. I think that's the only way to do it, because otherwise it's incredible that it gets repeated. It's insane.
It's so frustrating. Let me ask you about Mac Jones. A failure in New England. Maybe the situation just was not good for him. Looks like a different quarterback with San Francisco. What are you seeing with Mac Jones, Steve?
Look, it was a terrible situation in New England. It was almost, it felt like it was just concocted, and it was really a bad spot. And that's not an excuse. It's just there are bad spots for quarterbacks. Even today, there's bad spots for quarterbacks. You're not going to see how good you can be. Now, it doesn't mean that you flail and just, have things like Mac has to take his part of it, no question. But I've always said that there are more and more good places for quarterbacks than ever been in the league in its history right now, just because they got all the tree of Andy Reid and Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay and Sean Payton has infiltrated most of the league now. So there's a lot of good spots for quarterbacks, but there's still bad ones, and Mac caught them pretty right head on. And then he got to the one that's probably the best, or one of the best. And that's Kyle's proven that over and over and over again, that he puts quarterbacks in position to go find out how good they are. And so Mac is now finding out how good he is. And you know what? He might be pretty good. And I think that the rest of the league can say whatever they want to say. Those are the facts. The quarterbacks need a lot of help, and there are places that suck for quarterbacks. And sometimes the little piece of it too is the maturity and a little bit of like, hey, I've seen it now and I can respond to it. Like, there's a little bit of when you start out with something, you get hit in the face, you're not sure what's going on. So Mac takes his part of it. But the truth of the matter is, and I've said this about the 49ers for years, if I could play again and I could run to any place in the league to go play, I would sprint. So it just happens to be the closest to me, 15 miles down the road, but I would sprint there as fast as I could.
So, I mean, the narrative, though, Steve, is, well, there's no way he could replace Brock Purdy, who's hurt right now, because they just signed him to a $265 million contract. But my rebuttal would be, they had Brock Purdy take the starting job over a guy they moved heaven and earth to draft in Trey Lance. So if they think Mac Jones is better than Brock Purdy, isn't there a chance that they could give Mac Jones the job?
Well, we do know that Kyle loved Mac when he was coming out.
Yeah, he tried to trade up.
And so there's that, and then there's Mac's play. Mac brings different things. They are different players, and they both. Mac has less time in the saddle, but both have brought a lot of success. So to me, you have like a really quality problem, and one that with both of them are not toxic personalities, and you can throw them together and not cost the locker room too much. They're both guys that people can support. And so it can be awkward, and it can remain awkward. It's okay. And I'm not sure how you choose to do it, but I don't think you have to declare definitive things that make, so that everyone he's playing settles down and feels so, kind of sweet and peaceful. I like creative tension. I think it brings out the best. And I think they can get the best of Mac and Brock by creating some tension. And, because I think both of them will respond. And then coaches are going to have to decide. And I think that, the weight of it, right, is Brock because of the long-term contract and everything else. He's got to get on the field. And he's been so successful, too. It's not like, oh, he hasn't played. I mean, you can nitpick at him, but he's played great football. So it's a quality problem, Michael, quality problem.
Does Mac have a better arm than Brock?
Yeah, Mac, I suspect Brock will tell you that I'm not the biggest, not the fastest, not the strongest. That's not Brock's game, is to stand back, wait an extra couple seconds, back foot, and rip a ball down the sidelines, 18-yard comebacks. That's not his, he's got his body position needs to get in a way so that he can drive the football, but he's got to get his body with it. And so it's not, I don't want to belabor the arm strength, because I'm not sure that, there's no question that Mac can make throws at Brock, they're just different players. But I don't want to overweight that, because I think we've overweighted that in the past, and not for the right reasons.
All right, so in his debut, Jackson Dart won a game that the Giants were not favored to win against the Chargers, but his numbers were not outrageously great. But here in New York, we're so starved, we went crazy. And then yesterday, he turned the ball over 3 times, once a fumble without being hit, 2 interceptions. Is this just the growth of a quarterback, Steve? Or is this also an insight that he's not quite that guy yet?
Well, I mean, Michael, it's so hard because you have to go through it. And again, there's different aspects of it. Some of it's Jackson doesn't control, which is, what kind of environment do I have? Do I have in today's game, the quarterback more than ever is the focal point of the whole organization. Is the whole organization built to help the quarterback be not coddled, but help the quarterback be successful? And that's why the ones that are doing that, and then allow for the player to see how good they can get because they get the help. That's one aspect of it. Then there's the part that Jackson has to do himself, which is get ready for a game that is so much faster than college, so much more explosive. It's not as sophisticated as it used to be, so that's a positive, that you can transition them faster than you could 20 years ago. But it's still it's a fast man's game, and so you've got to be able to kind of rise up, and that's where all the mistakes come from. And so then it becomes about, to me, once you've seen it, and yesterday, you went on the road for the first time, and a team that wasn't that great, and you kind of got punched in the face, and you made some stupid mistakes, and lost the game kind of because of it. How do you respond? The team's we got to figure out that part, and I'm not sure that it's a perfect place for a quarterback, but it's not a terrible place for a quarterback for the Giants. It's just, for Jackson, to me, it's now, okay, we've seen you make those mistakes. Are you smart enough and have the guy on the street smarts and the savviness to recognize, okay, I'm not doing that stupid stuff again? And then you can start to limit that. And that might close your game off a little bit for a little while. That's okay. You're not as explosive. You're not as taking the risks that you did before. But that's part of making sure that you're not the reason that the team's going to lose. And a quarterback, being the reason you're going to lose is really easy. It doesn't take much. And so your game has to really get, refined really fast if you're going to be that guy. And again, have to handle that not everything's perfect around you. And so we'll see. I don't think you can make judgments. I mean, we have to see him play it out. But the team's got to stay with him. He's got to stay. I mean, you can't let history the Giants' history over the last few years get to you. You can't let the media get. You got to. We'll see. I guess that's what's fun about the NFL and the quarterback and the game itself, is that there's no liars. You can't fake in business. You can kind of dodge and fake, and a lot of other places you can dodge and fake. You can't do it in the NFL. And so we'll all witness it, and we'll talk about it every week. And we'll be able to say, yeah, that was the truth. The truth's coming out, good or bad.
All right, a final thing about the Jets. Cowboys are ravaged by injuries. No CD Lamb, 4 offensive linemen out, and they just embarrassed the Jets. So the Jets are 0-5. And Steve, we live, unfortunately, in a microwave society. Nothing is allowed to cook. It has to happen right away. Is it possible that Aaron Glenn could lose his job over something like this at the end of this year if they don't make any strides at all?
Michael, let's just, I don't know, I'm reticent to get into this, but, at some level, the equity owners of the business have to, you can't just, it's not just roulette. Like, you're just running people through, and what's wrong with the Jets? I mean, at some point, the owners of the business have to be vulnerable enough to, like, what are we doing wrong? What needs to change? And I don't know that I know the answer to that, but I think you can't just keep, like the microwave society and just say, okay, he's lousy, bring in another one, bring in another, bring in another, bring in another one. Like, let's settle down. Let's have the vulnerability from top to bottom and figure out what we can do better and come together. Because I don't want to just start saying, oh yeah, Aaron Glenn's got to go and we got to get something. Like, I'm tired. Like, everyone's got to be tired of that. And let's settle. And like, the fact is, the football that was played yesterday is not bad. It's not terrible, right? It's, in some ways you can say it's winning football, but I mean, Dak Prescott's gotten better. He's a better player than he's ever been. And he's tough-minded, and he's really, I like the game that he's playing today. And so they came in shorthanded, but he was the difference, and that's the way the game is today. You get somebody that's got it figured out and can play that kind of game. It's tough to beat. And so obviously we want Justin to get to that place, and then how we develop him and everything else. But I don't want to leave behind what is got to be part of the solution in that bringing the equity owners of the business into the conversation.
But the thing that jumps out at me, Steve, the last two games is 24 penalties and 192 yards. That was the thing he ran on. That was his stump speech. We're not going to allow this.
Yeah.
Well, how do you explain that?
And it's weird. I mean, I'm sure Aaron's like, I mean, that's how you turn gray, is that the thing that you believed most was a part of your ethos when you played. It was a part of your ethos when you're coaching. And that why is what's most important to me can't get articulated to the guys on the field. And I think some of it goes to desperation, because the NFL, how it's hard. Like, it's, you talk about baseball, 162 games, like it's forever, but there's no forever like a football season that, it gets lost right away. Mm-hmm. And so it's just the pain and anguish of it. And the team wants to respond for Aaron. They like him. They want to win. And so there's that it's almost like you overzealous, or you're like anything, when you've ever overdone it, you get stupid stuff. And they had, you don't get settled in, and you're not yourself. Like, Aaron's probably thinking, I'm not myself right now because I'm so overwrought about the situation. And then everybody else feels they're not themselves. And so it runs downhill. And that's the only way I can explain it, because obviously he's made it a major part of his, coaching the Jets. Like, this is what we're going to be. This is who we're going to be. Right. And all of a sudden it can't happen. It has to be that they're it's like overcoaching and overplaying and overwrought kind of stuff, because otherwise it doesn't make any sense to him or anybody else.
Good stuff, Steve, as always. We'll talk to you next week.
All right. See you, Michael.
Thank you. That's Steve Young. So interesting stuff with him. And, the Jets have to be wondering, I ran on this. This is how I got elected. I got elected to be the coach. I was going to be disciplined. I was going to have this team be disciplined. There weren't going to be dumb penalties. And that's all we've seen. 0-5. We'll be back right here on 880 ESPN.
Monday on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg, the Yankees are on the brink of elimination.
If the Yankees are going to win the series, they have to win a game in Toronto, and that's been something that has absolutely eluded them all year.
The Giants lost thanks to 5 turnovers against the Saints, and the Jets are the last winless team in football. Has there been a worse weekend in New York sports recently? Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Ballybet Sportsbook. Yo, Ballybet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Ballybet. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Bally Bet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Bally Bet, Sportsbook and Casino.
Download it.
The Fox Nation Patriot Awards returns for a new year.
Are you ready to get the show started?
Join host Sean Hannity and special guests and be part of the celebration live in New York. Tickets are available now. Go to foxnation.com/Patriot Awards.
Friends, it's football season, the best time of the year. You should be out there tailgating, cheering on your team, and enjoying every Sunday. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, sciatica, or nerve pain, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. You don't have to live like that. There's help. Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain is New Jersey's top pain specialist. He's Ivy League trained, double board certified, and is dedicated to helping you get back in the game. Here's what makes the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical image-guided procedures that deliver real results. Dr. Shaw treats neck pain, back pain, joint pain, migraines, nerve pain, and sciatica with a plan that's customized for you. Same-day and next-day appointments are available, and with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood, relief is always close. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Visit SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Most major insurances are accepted. That's SandwellPain.com. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Did you know you can get more with New York Lottery Plus?
You pulling my leg?
No, seriously. Just enter scratch off and draw game tickets and get more points.
Pulling a fast one?
No. And you can put your points towards chances to win gift cards, cash prizes, and more.
Is this a stunt?
No, you even get points for playing new games.
You're pulling my chain, aren't you?
No.
Pulling my finger?
What? No. Man, put that thing away.
Sorry.
Introducing New York Lottery Plus. Download the app, sign up, get more. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Tire care shouldn't come with extra costs or surprise fees, and it should be simple, straightforward, and stress-free. So at Midas, they're rolling out the limited lifetime tire guarantee. Included with every tire purchase with paid installation, you'll pay nothing for flat repairs, nada for flat replacements, zilch for tire rotations every 5,000 miles, and zero for other preventative maintenance. So with this limited lifetime tire guarantee, you'll pay a whole lot of nothing compared to what the other guys charge for tire care. That's a limited lifetime tire guarantee only at Midas.
Coach Saban here. On the field or on your walls, coverage matters. That's why I go with Behr Marquee Interior Paint and Primer from the Home Depot.
Exceptional hide, advanced stain blocking, and over 1,000 colors to choose from. Behr Marquee delivers one-coat coverage that stands up to real life. One-coat coverage, no overtime. Behr Marquee, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Valid only when tinted to colors from the Behr Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Collection.
In the city that never sleeps and never stops talking sports, ESPN New York is always on. Now you can live and breathe everything New York sports wherever you are. On your radio dial, on the ESPN New York app, and streaming live on YouTube. However you watch or listen, ESPN New York is always on for you. Hear us, stream us, watch us. This is ESPN New York.
Hey, Game Time brought to you by Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, because when it's game time, it's Tully time. 6 p.m., the Dodgers and the Phillies play Game 2 of their NLDS series in Philadelphia. 9 p.m., the Cubs and the Brewers are in Milwaukee for Game 2 of their NLDS series. You can hear both NLDS games right here on ESPN New York. And at 8:15 p.m., The Chiefs are in Jacksonville for Monday Night Football on ESPN TV and also ABC 7. Tullamore Dew, the original triple distilled, triple blended, triple cask matured Irish whiskey. Be sure to grab a Tullamore Dew or try the new Tullamore Dew Honey during today's action. Glasses up to enjoying Tullamore Dew responsibly. 1-800-919-3776. The Cardinal game, if you haven't seen it and you didn't see what DeMercado did, he's running across the goal line. There's somebody chasing him. He just drops the ball right at the goal line, but he drops it before the goal line. So it was negated a 72-yard TD. Touchback. Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. That would have put the game away for the Cardinals. Then they had an interception that they tried to run back, and then they fumbled. That ball was falling on, and the Titans fell on it in the end zone. They cut it to 21-19, and then a game-ending field goal. And the reason that it gets me, that was my pick in my 2 survivor pools. Made me sick to my stomach. Sick to my stomach. I'm watching the Jets. Also sickening. Again, when you run on a platform of discipline, cutting down penalties, and then all you do is have a lack of discipline. 11 penalties yesterday, 91 yards. Last 2 games, 24 penalties, 192 yards. And please do not be misled by 37-22. It wasn't nearly as close. Garbage touchdowns at the end, and Fields' numbers don't even look bad, but he had 75 yards in the air in the first half. So he finished with 283, 2 TDs, 26 yards rushing. Garrett Wilson, 6 catches, 71 yards again, all late when it didn't matter. They couldn't stop Prescott. 4 TDs, 237 yards passing. Cowboys ran for 180 yards. And it was a 10-3 game, Cowboys. 2:18 left in the first half. And you blinked, and all of a sudden it's 23-3. Unbelievable. Dallas missing 4 starters on the offensive line. They missing C.D. Lamb, and you got embarrassed. Your offensive line couldn't do anything. Justin Fields was hit 14 times, 5 sacks. And this is a team that was not supposed to be good at rushing the quarterback after they traded Micah Parsons. Javonte Williams, 16 carries, 135 yards. Tell me what I should feel good about with the Jets. Tell me what I should feel good about. They stink. And the thing is, their talent does not indicate that they should be this bad. Their talent is not 0-5. But that's what their record is. That's what their record is. As for the Giants, you can't lose to the Saints after you win a big game in San Diego. Now, next up is the Eagles. So what could have been 2-3, where you excite your fan base for a week until you get crushed by the Eagles, now you're 1-4. Dart didn't have a great game. Lost a fumble without being touched. 2 interceptions. Scatterboo also fumbled, and it was returned for TD. The Giants had 5 turnovers in 5 straight possessions. So Dart's numbers don't look terrible. 26 for 40, 202 yards. But, it wasn't a great game for him. It wasn't a great game for the Giants. Two drives at the start of the game, 2 TDs to his buddy Theo Johnson, and then they fell apart. Giants led 14-3. The Saints, winless Saints, 23 consecutive points. Giants had no pass rush. They let Spencer Rattler look like an absolute NFL quarterback. What are we supposed to feel good about in New York football? And unless the Yankees win tomorrow and Wednesday, baseball's over too. I guess we're going to have to bank on the Rangers and the Knicks. Maybe the Devils. Nets are going to be awful. Awful. They're not going to win 20 games. They're not. Not a great time in New York sports right now. Not a great time. All right, we'll come back. We'll talk more about the Yankees ALDS where they're down 0-2. It's the K Show. You're watching us on the ESPN New York YouTube channel and also listening on ESPN New York.
Did you know women account for 2/3 of all Americans living with Alzheimer's and 2/3 of all Alzheimer's family caregivers? Join the Alzheimer's Foundation of America at its Women Empowerment Forum on November 5th in Amityville to learn practical ways women can reduce their risk for Alzheimer's and enhance quality of life for themselves and their loved ones living with Alzheimer's. For more information or to register, visit alzfdn.org or call 866-232-8484.
This fall, don't sit on the sideline because of pain. If you're tired of waking up stiff, fighting neck, back, or joint pain, and missing out on the things you love, it's time to take action. Call Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain, New Jersey's top pain specialist. Dr. Shaw is the Ivy League trained, double board certified, and laser focused on one thing: getting you back in the game. Living pain-free, no surgery, no cuts, no downtime. Just precise image-guided treatments that deliver real results. Whether it's sciatica, nerve pain, migraine, or chronic joint pain, Dr. Shaw will personalize a non-surgical game plan just for you without pain medication. Same-day and next-day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. Most major insurances are accepted, so what are you waiting for? Don't let pain keep you out of the action this season. Visit Sandwell Pain to text, call, or book online. You'll wish you met Dr. Jay Shaw a lot sooner. Relief starts today, and victory over pain is closer than you think.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
Hey! My dad is bringing home the best birthday cake ever!
It was my 5th birthday, and my dad was bringing home the cake.
Should have been here a half hour ago.
The cake never made it, and neither did my dad. 911, what's your emergency? That was the day a drunk driver killed my dad.
Daddy?
Impaired drivers take lives. Think.
Sponsored by the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee. Aired in cooperation with the New York State Broadcasters Association.
From kickoff to cash out, ESPN Bet has all the tools you need to score more on game days. Bet smarter with stats right at your fingertips. Get personalized parlays built just for you. And with your fantasy teams synced right in the app, you can back your squad. Right now, new customers get $100 in bonus bets when you bet $10. Sign up with promo code USL to get started. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour gone in an eye blink. Now it's time for hour 2 of our 2-hour radio program. Yankees down 0-2 in the best of 5 ALDS. And if the Yankees don't hit, obviously they're not going to win. You like their chances, though, to have a little bit of a better offensive output against Bieber, who's not an overpowering pitcher, has a very good changeup. And then a bullpen game. And the bullpen yesterday for the Blue Jays showed that they're not a lockdown bullpen either. So those are the next 2 games. So you would expect them to hit a little bit more. If they don't, then the next point I'm going to make doesn't mean anything. But I'll tell you this. You got other things to worry about. It's amazing the screams and the noise about Boone. Like it's his fault that Louis Seal was not good. They had that's the tariff you pay, by the way, for getting in as a wild card. You have to start your 4th best starter in the first game because you used everybody in the first series. The Blue Jays sat back. They got their pitching in order. They started who they consider their best starter, Kevin Gausman. They had the advantage and they won. Louis Seal was not chosen to start over Cam Slittler because they knew he wasn't as good. He's been mid since he's come back. He's not near the pitcher that he was in the first half last year. Not throwing hard. He's not throwing hard on purpose. He's trying to be an artist. He's not Greg Maddux by any stretch of the imagination. So that's a problem. And then they were all over him. Now you expect more out of Max Fried. You expect that matchup was in your favor. Max Fried, a grizzled veteran who had a great year against a kid, make his fourth big league start. It didn't work out that way. Fried was roughed up, and Yavich was great. So now you have Rodon has the best batting average against of any pitcher in baseball, 188. And you have him facing Shane Bieber. And the next one is Schlittler against the bullpen. If the Yankees win on Tuesday, they'll play on Wednesday. But here's the thing that worries me the most of all the things I've mentioned. The Yankee bullpen right now is in shambles. You know, people want to jump on Boone. Well, why would he have used Jeff Weaver in game one? Who are you going to use? You have two pitchers that right now you could trust. Two pitchers. Devin Williams and David Bednar. That's it. Fernando Cruz is not throwing strikes, or they've caught on to the fact that, just take the splitter because if it's good, it's going to drop out of the strike zone. And he throws 94, 95, which you can hit. You either have to straighten out Weaver or you're in trouble because you can't win and get to a World Series with two relief pitchers. Now, Doval showed something in that first game, 6 up, 6 down. He might be your third guy now. But you got to find the stuff out. You can't give up on Weaver, because if you give up on Weaver, you're giving up on the postseason. You need another relief pitcher. And the Yankee starters have been great other than Heel, and before yesterday, Fried, in giving you length. But they don't have enough to cover the length. They had to use Blackburn. Yesterday, they used Warren. And I love, anybody gets a chance to rip Aaron Boone, they just run with it. Oh, why did he take Heel out so early? You only given up 2 runs. Did you watch the game? Did you see the 2 bombs he gave up? He wasn't fooling anybody. If he had kept him in and gave up 5 runs, you would have ripped Boone for keeping him in. And Boone actually did the right thing. A lot of, we're looking at it in real time as we're sitting at yes. No, why didn't he bring it? Why is Warren on the roster if you're not going to bring him in there? Well, we saw Warren yesterday, didn't we? So what he did was the right thing. He mixed and matched, and it was still 2-0. And then 2-1. And then he went to Weaver, and the game got away. Weaver was awful. Weaver's faced 6 batters, now 7. 6 got on, and yesterday he threw 1 pitch to get the final out in the 8th. Boone did the right thing taking out Heel early. They did the right thing taking out Fried when he did. But rather than give Boone a pass, because Boone is, in terms of managing, he's the Antichrist to a lot of Yankee fans. I was reading today on social media, it's such a joke. Oh, we'll never, ever get to the World Series with Boone as a manager. You got there last year, didn't you? Short-term memory loss? Got there last year. Been to a couple of ALCSs with him as the manager. But it's on him. It's always on him. It's not on the players. Not on Luke Weaver not able to get anybody out. No, it's on Boone. Okay, I'll play along. 1-800-919-3776. I can only imagine if the Yankees don't win 3 in a row. I can only imagine the cacophony of nonsense that's going to come my way on this show. Boone and Cashman have to go. I mean, I'm reading from a lot of people. Well, Hal doesn't want to win. He doesn't spend enough money. All right, $320 million. Third most in baseball behind the Dodgers and the Mets. The Mets spent $340. They didn't make the playoffs. So how do you equate spending money with succeeding? $320 should be plenty to build a championship team. Plenty. Now, if you want to argue, well, the money wasn't well spent, well, then you could argue that. Because a lot of that $320, you're still paying Aaron Hicks. You're still paying DJ LeMahieu. The $36 million for Garrett Cole. He doesn't want to win. Then why wouldn't he spend $200 and put another $120 in his pocket? Why? You people have this narrative that you've sunk into your head that he's the evil guy. Oh, he doesn't spend commensurate to the revenue. Who does? He spends quite enough money to win a World Series. go to Steve in Homedale. Steve.
Hey, Mike. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. I want to ask you a question about playoff seeding, but I just want to make one quick comment. And it looks like Toronto just might be the better team this year over the Yankees based upon where they play. And the real concern is they've done all this without Bo Bichette in the lineup. So I can only imagine the damage that would have occurred if he was in the lineup. But the question I wanted to ask you is, yeah, well, that's true. The question I wanted to ask you was, and this is not, I'm not trying to make any excuses for the Yankees because you have to beat good teams to get to the World Series. But why did they, and you may not know the answer, but why did they come up with this particular seeding arrangement? Why don't they reseed the teams? Why automatically have that the Yankees Red Sox winner plays Toronto? Because by virtue of the Yankees being the best wild card record, they should be playing Seattle 3 out of 5, and then if they have to play Toronto later on, 4 out of 7. I mean, football reseeds all the time, and this is not the NCAA where there's brackets of all these teams.
But you just answered your question. They want a bracket for some reason, which I think is silly. They want to create a bracket. That's why they keep showing brackets. That's why if you go to MLB.com, they have a bracket. That's why when you watch Fox or TBS, they have a bracket. They want to do a bracket. And I think there has to be some kind of a cost to finishing as the wild card. You can't be reseeded against a team that won a division. There has to be something that's special about winning a division. Now, in a perfect world, should you reseed and have you play the team with the lesser record? Yeah, but that's no excuse. That should be no excuse. You didn't beat the Blue Jays in the regular season. You lost 8 out of 13 games to them. And you were the wild card. So you have to suffer the slings and arrows of being a wild card. If you didn't want this nonsense, then you should have won. You should have won the division. All you do is win one of those games in Miami. Just one more game. Of all those gut punch games that they lost, one more game, and they would have been a division leader. And they would have not had to play the Red Sox. And the Red Sox would have played the Blue Jays. And one of them would have knocked each other out. And then it would have been different maybe. Or maybe you still play the Blue Jays. But you answered your own question, Steve. They want to have a bracket. They think that adds something to it. I think it's ridiculous. Let's go to Juan in White Plains. Juan.
Hey, Michael. Thanks for taking my call.
You got it.
Time fan and like 15th time caller, but that's neither here nor there. Michael, I'm going to need you to please try your best to believe what I'm saying to you because it is the truth, even if I don't have objective black and white evidence. I haven't looked at his hands yet, and I'll explain, okay? Michael, on Sunday, Max Fried threw the hardest he's ever thrown this season. After the game, he said, my stuff is great. The velocity, location was great. So here's my conspiracy theory. Well, actually, it's not a conspiracy. I know it to be a fact, even though I haven't proved it yet. But Max Fried... Then it's not a fact. Yeah, it's not a fact. You're right. Max Fried threw his sinker so hard on Sunday, and guess what, Michael? You don't need to throw you don't need to put your fingertips on the seams to throw a sinker. And I'll explain, Michael, okay? Max Fried's blisters are back. Okay.
Nope. Juan, thank you. Stop. First of all, Max Fried said something that I'm sitting in the studio with John Flaherty. That his stuff wasn't great. His changeup was not great. So Juan's telling me yesterday was a result of blisters, but the previous start against the Red Sox, he was brilliant through 6 1/3. Well, then they shouldn't have started him. If he had blisters, they shouldn't have started him. I can't abide by making excuses without proof. Like those that are whispering about something going on in Toronto. Prove it. And the Yankees have had 9 games now to come up with a solution if something is untoward in Toronto. And until you have proof, shut up. And if you truly know that something's going on, find a way to fix it. Find a workaround. That's what it's all about. Find a workaround. If you think they're stealing signs, give signs differently. If you think there's something weird going on, report it. Give me proof. Otherwise, you just got your butt kicked. That's what you got. 23-8. I mean, well, you're talking about blisters. The guy threw 99 miles an hour. And he also said he had his best stuff of the year. You can't have best stuff of the year if you just threw blisters. And he didn't have his best stuff of the year. He didn't have a good changeup. That's an important pitch for him. His cutter was not working. That was not his best stuff. It was his best velocity, but in terms of his stuff, it was not. Let's go to Jerry in Manhattan. Jerry.
Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Yeah, just very disappointed on Max Fried. You see his playoff record is very bad. I think his last 5 starts, including Boston, where he pitched well, his ERA is over 10. Overall, his playoff ERA is 5.5. Saying all that, I think either Boone should have let him try to finish that last inning, or just I know it would have probably not mean they probably would have lost the game. I don't think you can give up on the game. You put Will Warren, a guy who's a star coming out of relief.
You're cutting in and out. Will Warren's on the roster for that very thing. Starters are going to have to come in with runners on base. I'm telling you, it's amazing to me. Everything is Boone's fault. Everything. Now, I blame him when he's wrong. Taking out Max Fried in that first game against the Red Sox, managerial malfeasance. Awful. Awful. Not pushing him to like 112. Yankees lost the game because of that. But Will Warren, what is he, a delicate flower? He can't come with runners on base. He's pitched with runners on base before. Everything is Boone's fault rather than the players not executing. It's not their fault. It's Aaron Boone, the Antichrist. You people better get another thing to blame when this is over. Yeah, for those of you that are hoping, well, if they lose, well, they'll finally get rid of Boone and Cashman. No, they won't. No, they won't. So stop rooting for that. Start blaming players. Did Boone make a mistake in game 1 against the Red Sox? Damn well he did, and I said it over and over and over again. Was it a mistake taking out Heel in game 1 of this series? Nope. Was it a mistake bringing in Weaver? Nope. You got to hope that the guy figures it out because you don't have enough relievers. You don't have enough relievers. You've got to have more or you have no chance anyway. You got to hope that Weaver figures stuff out. Rich in Brooklyn. Rich.
Hi, Michael. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
All right. Michael, I have a question to ask you. All right?
Yep.
If Max Fried is supposedly an ace, okay, that's what they say, that's what they signed him for. What would have happened if Boone would have left him in there yesterday? How do you know he would have given up all those other runs? You don't.
But he gave up enough runs as it was. You can't let a game. It was 4-0 already, 5-0. How long do you want him to stay in there?
Okay, it was 5-0. But what I'm saying is, then they bring in a pitcher who's young. He's on the roster, and boom, boom, boom.
They lost that game. If they kept in Fried, he would have given up more runs, Rich. Again.
How do you know that?
But how do you know anything? A manager has to make that decision. How do you know that, Rich? How do you know that? Everything is Boone's fault. Global warming, it's on Boone. It's on Boone. The conflict in the Middle East, that's Boone's fault. I mean, really, Rich, that's where we're going? You have an argument with him taking out a totally ineffective Max Fried. That's on Boone. How do we know? You watch. You have eyeballs. You see the guy had nothing. They were on every single one of his pitches. Why wouldn't you take him out? Oh, goodness gracious. This is only going to get worse. How do you know he was going to? You make a judgment. That's what a manager does. He makes a judgment. The guy was getting hit, and not just hit softly, hard hit stuff. Hard hit. Unbelievable. It's always Boone. It's not Max Fried being ineffective. It's not Will Warren being ineffective. It's Boone. And I'm not saying sometimes it's not. There was a move that he made in game one, to me, inexplicable. He waited till a 2-1 count to bring in Jose Caballero to pinch run for Ryan McMahon. Inexcusable. And then when asked about it on the postgame show, he said, I just changed my mind. No. That's not cool. You don't just change your mind at 2-1. You took 3 pitches away from Caballero where he could have learned the pitcher's move and stolen the base. The guy never got a chance to steal the base. That's a bad move. That you blame on the manager. You don't blame taking Max Fried out and bringing in Will Warren. That's not on the manager. That's on those 2 pitchers that they didn't execute. John and Chatham. John.
Hey, Michael. I mean, if the Yankees lose, the calls, oh, my God.
No, I can't wait. John, I can't wait.
I'm telling you. But it's right in front of our face why the Mets and the Yankees are losing. The Mets, the pitching, the starting pitching. And I know Judge is going to get crucified if the Yankees don't win. Yes, he's not hitting home runs like in the regular season, but the guy's batting over 400 in the playoffs. And then you hear these people, oh, well, average, it's not that important today. If average isn't important, they ought to go to Cooperstown and board up the windows on the place.
Average seems pretty important to the Blue Jays, right? They've got all these guys hitting over 290. Average seems pretty important to them.
I mean, the first thing, when you're eligible for the Hall of Fame, they look at is batting average. Stop with the average baloney. But anyway, it's the pitching. Can I see them win 3 in a row? Absolutely. I mean, since Judge came on the scene, it wasn't the hitting. It wasn't the pitching. It was the hitting. Now this year, it seems like they have the hit, plenty hitting. It's the pitching.
Well, I mean, John, it's just the pitching in this series. It's just the pitching in this series. I mean, the pitching in the Red Sox series was extraordinary. So you can't just have a blanket statement and say it's just the pitching. No, it's not just the pitching. It's also the hitting in the series, too. They're not hitting home runs. I've told you this 100 times. They either hit home runs or they don't win. That's their formula, and that's the formula of most of Major League Baseball. It just is. It just is. So you can't put it on, because if it wasn't for the pitching, they wouldn't have gotten past the Red Sox. That was all pitching, because they didn't score a lot of runs against the Red Sox. Now the first 2 games of this series is on the pitching. Louis Seal has been sub-Louis Seal since coming back from the injury. And Max Fried, he had a great start, and then he had a terrible start. What can I say? And he's had a history of that throughout his postseason. He won a World Series in 2021. He was brilliant in that last game. Brilliant. Other times he struggled. So it looks like it's hit or miss. Here's what worries me. If they win the next 2 games, he has to start in Toronto. And he does not pitch well in Toronto. He's given up 17 runs, 15 of them earned, in 14 and a third innings pitched in Toronto. So the leash is going to be very, 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 very short. The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets. From yards to touchdowns to who will win, with FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel giving all customers a 30% PBT. That's right, you can get in on the action with a 30% PBT tonight during the Chiefs-Jaguars game on Monday Night Football. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/K to bet on the game. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Is college even worth it these days? At Empire State University, It actually is. They are SUNY's leading online university. Flexible, affordable, and built for real life. With more than 120 degree programs, you can study what matters most to you. And students agree, they're ranked #1 in student satisfaction among SUNY schools. Whether you are finishing what you started or starting fresh, your goals are within reach. See for yourself. Visit SUNYEmpire.edu before the next term begins.
Listen up, New York. It's football season, and you should be out there enjoying every play, every tailgate, every moment. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or sciatica, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. That's where Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain comes in. He's one of New Jersey's top pain specialists, Ivy League trained, double board certified, and dedicated to getting you back in the game. Here's the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical, image-guided procedures that get real results. Dr. Shaw treats everything from neck pain, back pain, migraines, nerve pain, and chronic joint pain. And he builds a custom game plan that's right for you. Same day or next day appointments are available with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood. And yes, most major insurances are accepted. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Go to SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Did you know you can get more with New York Lottery Plus?
You pulling my leg?
No, seriously. Just enter scratch off and draw game tickets and get more points.
Pulling a fast one?
Nope. And you can put your points towards chances to win gift cards, cash prizes, and more.
Is this a stunt?
No, you even get points for playing new games.
You're pulling my chain, aren't you?
No.
Pulling my finger?
What? No, man, put that thing away.
Sorry.
Introducing New York Lottery Plus. Download the app, sign up, get more. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Ballybet Sportsbook. Yo, Ballybet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Ballybet. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Ballybet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today. Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Ballybet Sportsbook and Casino. Download it.
Getting the right mattress helps you sleep at night. Getting the right price helps you sleep even better. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step fitting process to make sure your new bed fits you perfectly. The right fit, the right price, plus free delivery. It's what they do, only at PC Richard & Son. Free delivery on mattresses $199 and up. Excludes Manhattan. See stores for details.
Some people just know you can save money on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check if they're going for it on 4th down, before going to the concession stand.
Yeah, give me 3 hot dogs, 2 jumbo touchdown, baby! What?
Hey, buddy, you want cheese with those?
Yeah, checking first is smart.
No.
So check Allstate first and see what you could save. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Potential savings vary, including based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
I'm home. Hey, Mom, before you ask, I've done my homework and the dishwasher's unloaded.
Nice. Hey, can you...
Hey, hon, yes, I've got the finale ready to play. Here's your wine.
Wow.
Isn't it nice not having to ask? We think so. That's why if there's a network interruption, AT&T will proactively credit you for a full day of service. Guaranteed. Credit for fiber downtime lasting 20 minutes or more, or for wireless downtime lasting 60 minutes or more caused by a single incident impacting 10 or more towers. Restrictions and exclusions apply. See att.com/guarantee for details.
All right, before I get back to your phone calls, and a lot of people want to talk, I understand. I'm here for you. You're the co-host. You know the whole deal. I have to wonder what is happening in our business. All right, so we all know the situation with Mark Sanchez in Indianapolis, where he got stabbed. Now, that was the initial report. And before anybody knew exactly what was going on, people in our business, people that I respect, they had to send out their tweet. Oh, this is such a great guy. This is terrible what happened to him. Blah, 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 blah. As if people give a crap what they think about every single thought in their mind. And then it comes out, and we still don't know for sure what's going on. Mark Sanchez was the one that got arrested. He's got a felony charge against him. We don't know how this is going to turn out, but the people that said that stuff, why would you have to do it immediately? Do you think the world is waiting on your opinion about everything? I mean, a guy I like, a guy I have great respect for, Ed Werder. Why? Why do you have to immediately ring in? And it wasn't just Ed Werder. There was a lot of people in our business who just had to get their thought out. Like, just think about everybody within the sound of my voice right now. Your mind vomits out so many thoughts throughout the day. But thank goodness we actually, some of us who have, responsibility, we don't just shout out everything we think. And I'm going to tell you a funny story. So we're all sitting there at Yes, watching the game, and this stuff comes out. And I said to Jack, Bob, and John Flaherty, I said, wow, every dealing I've ever had with Mark Sanchez, he's really a terrific guy. This really stinks. But here's the deal. I didn't send it out to the world and my 340,000 followers on Twitter because they don't need to know my every thought. Why would you let something that could be so potentially explosive, why would you feel you had to get your opinion out right away? Our world is going to hell in a handbasket because everybody, including our young influencers and people that want to get noticed, they without even thinking or to see how something develops, they've got to spit out their opinion as if the whole world is sitting on their thought. Oh, I wonder what Mr. X thinks about Mark Sanchez. No, we don't wonder, and we don't care. Why don't you let it breathe and find out exactly what's going on first before you spit out your opinion on something that you have no idea how it's going to turn out? There's so many people out there with incredible amounts of egg on their face because for some reason they seem to think that we're all waiting on every single thought that comes through their mind. We're not. Take a beat. Take a breath before you hit send. Why am I wise enough to do this? There are things that I see on social media that immediately I want to chime in. But then I go, no. First of all, it's a fight you can't win. Second of all, nobody cares what I think. Nobody cares what I think. And I love people in our business that, who cares what we think politically? Who cares what side politically we're on? You'll never get that from me. You could surmise all you want, but I don't think that people really want to know. That's not why they tune into the show. Gee, I wonder who Michael supports. Who cares? Gee, I wonder, Mark Sanchez is in a hospital in Indianapolis. I wonder what Michael's thinking. No, you don't. You don't need to know. Let's wait till all the facts get in. Maybe I'll have an opinion then. People, stop. We're not waiting on every single thing that comes through your brain. Steve in Trumbull. Steve.
Yeah, Mike. There are plenty of us who are supporting you on your view, and a handful of the haters out there who are bashing Boone, want to bash Boone, want to give you a hard time. I have a certain situation, and I see there's always 3%, 5% negative people out there who are going to throw this out there. I think there's more out here who are supporting what you're saying and want to get you all hyped up and want to just push your buttons. And I know you know that. So please calm down. We're with you. We know what's happening.
But one
now,
thing,
Steve,
I'll let you finish. I do think that Boone's made mistakes in this series. I do. Taking out Fried in game one. Pinch running a guy with a 2-1 count rather than right. Yeah, he's not been perfect. But to say that this is all on him, that's what I don't get.
Yes, you're totally honest. We're all with you. I was at the game. We all said the same exact thing at the moment. It was a WTF. What the hell's going on?
Right.
And so we're with you. I think there's more of us with you than these haters and the people who want to push the button. This is so childish. But I want to ask you, what does the MLB want in the series? What is what they want, and what is the worst scenario for them?
I don't understand what you're asking me.
Series.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
In a World Series, do they want the Dodgers, Toronto, Dodgers, Yankees? What is the best scenario for viewership?
Well, I don't think. I mean, unfortunately, the best scenario for viewership does not involve the Toronto Blue Jays because you're losing half the audience. They don't watch Fox because they have their own broadcast in Canada. So you're losing half the audience, and baseball is a regional sport. So that shows you that when people say, oh, things are fixed in favor of the Yankees. Well, if it was fixed in favor of the Yankees, I think they'd rather have the Yankees facing Seattle or Detroit than Toronto because you're losing half the audience. The Dodgers are always somebody that, they've got stars, they've got Ohtani, the whole deal. But, they want to make Fox's ratings be as good as they can. So I guess the last team that they want in there would be Toronto because you lose half the ratings. Just the way it is. Now, you also say push the button. People aren't saying this about Boone to push my button. They truly believe it. There are people on social media that they're not shouting it out at me. This is not a Michael Kay issue. People really feel this way. And I have the wherewithal with this show to combat it to some extent. I don't think he's a perfect manager, but I do know one thing that nobody seems to want to take into account. A lot of it's collaborative, and I think that taking out Fried was a collaborative thing where, this is the lane for Weaver. This is when he has to come in. So that was a mistake. But taking out McMahon at first base with a 2-1 count, that's inexplicable to me. It doesn't make any sense. And then to say I changed my mind, that's not a good look. That's not a good look to change your mind. The game moves fast when you're in that dugout. You got to make that decision instantaneous. Am I going to risk, in a close game at that point, losing McMahon for defense to send in a pinch runner? And if you think, yes, I need the pinch runner to get him in the scoring position, then you got to make that move right away. You can't wait for a 2-1 count. Because I'm sitting back and I'm going, well, what's the advantage of waiting for the 2-1 count? What's he wait? There is none. Other than you just cost Caballero 3 pitches to watch the pitchers move. Even the best pinch runner in the world is not going to take off immediately. They have to read the pitchers move. So that was a terrible mistake by Aaron. Terrible. And then just to say, I'm glad they asked him. I'm not there at the press conference. For him to say, I changed my mind. Not a good look. Not a good look. But they didn't lose the game because of that. I look at things why they lost the game. Taking out Fried when they did was one of the reasons they lost that game in game 1 against the Red Sox. Taking out Heel when he did was the right move. Taking out Fried when he did was the right move. Bringing in Weaver when he did was the right move because you've got to get that guy and he's got to get people out. That's on Weaver. Not everything is on Boone. I'm sorry. Not everything is on Boone. Mike in Plattsburgh. Mike.
Hey, what's up, Mike?
How you doing, Mike?
You're the man, myth, and legend. I agree with you so much right there. Boone, he can only play with the pieces on the chessboard, and he's doing the best job he can do. So what do you think going forward? What Brad Osmus, is he just like the figurehead there on the piece? What's his role in there?
Well, his role is to keep Boone on point, to know all the things that Boone has to process and all the numbers and stuff like that. And this is what we have and blah, blah, blah. The bench coach is the second mind of the manager. You have to keep the manager on point. That's the bench coach's job. But I mean, I'd be somewhat ridiculous to sit here and criticize Brad Ausmus. I'm not in that dugout. I don't know what Ausmus is telling Aaron Boone, but that's a bench coach's job. All right, this is what's coming up. This is the move they made. This is what we have available in the bullpen. This is what the numbers tell us. This is the lane we think. Are we going to pinch run here? We got this guy ready. All of that. That's what a bench coach does. He's there to keep the manager on point. Let's go to Mike in Connecticut. Mike.
Hey, Mike. Thanks for taking the call.
Thanks for making it.
So two things. One, I want to touch on Boone quick before I touch on the lineup. But for everybody that's ripping Boone, let's look back at the decision to leave Schlittler in the eighth against Boston. Everybody says Boone's run by the analytics. And look, I have my criticisms of Boone, but that I thought was a massive decision by just him, because I can guarantee you there's not an analytics guy anywhere on the planet that would have said you send the rookie back out for the eighth inning in that game, because analytics don't believe in hot, analytics don't believe in all that stuff. Well, Boone went with his gut and went with his guy and saw that he was dialed in and zoned and ran him back out there, and it paid off.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's ripping him for decisions that he's made that have been bad, but that was a huge decision he made that was good. My second point being, I think everybody ripping into the pitching, and yeah, they've been awful against Toronto, and I get that, but they were the reason that we got through Boston. I mean, the lineup's just been bad.
Yep.
The guys are not producing. And look, Judge has not been bad this postseason. Yes, in a couple spots to drive in runs, he's been bad, and that at bat in game one wasn't great. But you expect Bellinger to do more. He's got the one garbage time home run and the one double against Boston that Rafaela ran the worst route I've ever seen to. Rice has been almost a non-factor outside of that home run against Boston, and depending on who you listen to and talk to, there was some suggestions that Bellinger told him a curveball was coming anyways. Mm-hmm. Stanton has been completely a non-factor. Jazz has come up decent in a couple spots. Grisham's been a complete non-factor. I mean, these are all guys that had 25, 30, 40 home runs throughout the season, and they're just nothings right now. And if you're not going to drive in runs, how long can you expect your pitchers to just go no runs every single time they're out there and then have to scrape through winning the games 1 or 2-0, or expecting the Blue Jays to do what Boston did and kick and throw the ball around and then your pitchers to be elite? At some point, you got to give them some kind of run support.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. And they've got to hit, and they have not hit as a collective. They have not hit. Again, I know exactly the phone calls I'm going to get either tomorrow, Wednesday or Thursday. If they lose, it's going to be on Judge. But it's awfully hard to place blame on a guy hitting .444. And everybody doesn't get a hit every single time. They just don't. That bad at bat with the bases loaded, that's on him. I get it. But to just put it all on him. Here's another thing that's funny, too. So there was a story that came out by Brandon Cuddy in The Athletic today, that after the Yankees had that terrible series in Miami, and then they went on to Texas, played poorly there, that Stanton called the meeting and aired out the team. Nobody else spoke, aired out the team. And that kind of was the beginning of the turnaround. The coaches, they all listened, and he spoke for 5 minutes. So I'm seeing the reaction to that story. Well, what kind of captain is Judge? Isn't he supposed to give that speech? It's amazing the voice of the ill-informed and how loud they shout. So the player you love the most, who exemplifies winning over the years for the Yankees, is Derek Sanderson Jeter, and he was the captain. Who do you think gave speeches as well as Derek Jeter in the clubhouse? Oh, yeah, Jorge Posada, who was his consigliere. And a great leader allows others around to do what they want to do and to give them a voice. So you're going to take away from Judge's leadership because he allowed Stanton. I'm sure Stanton ran it past Judge. It's okay if I talk. Yeah, it's okay. It's funny, you guys now, you're trying to put the crosshairs on Aaron Judge. You're trying to put the crosshairs on Aaron Judge. Now he's the bad guy. And it's funny that I even react to this stuff because I see that a lot of the people that are making these outrageous statements, they're youngsters. They're kids in their 20s that have really strong opinions. And also they want to make their mark in social media so they can get clicks and they could build up their following and then they could be more relevant. I don't even know why it bothers me. But being ill-informed and being the loudest of the ill-informed is not a good look. Great leaders allow other people to lead as well. Jeter did it all the time. Jeter never was the one to give speeches. He's just not. That's not him. And Judge leads this team in so many different ways, and you want to jump him now? You want to forget that he might win his third MVP? That you want to forget all that. Because they would not have had 94 wins without Judge. And if they had just another player out in right field, you know what? They wouldn't have made the playoffs. So you could jump this guy all you want. You don't even realize what you have until it's gone. Because he now seems to be the flavor of the month. There's 3 people that are getting jumped on. Cashman, Boone, and now Judge. Really, really dumb target. You should be thanking your lucky baseball stars that Aaron Judge has graced your presence and will for 15 years. That's what you should be thanking. You should not be looking at the negatives. Oh, he's not getting any big hit. He's hitting .444. Oh, he's not a good leader. Let Stanton talk. Exactly how Jeter did it. Exactly how Jeter did it. It's funny, young people, don't be so loud. Sometimes you're wrong. A lot of times you're wrong. But I understand this is a different world. You feel the louder you are, the more people hear you. But remember, the more people hear you, the more people realize that what you're saying is dumb. We'll be back.
Monday on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg, the Yankees are on the brink of elimination.
If the Yankees are going to win the series, they have to win a game in Toronto, and that's been something that has absolutely eluded them all year.
The Giants lost thanks to 5 turnovers against the Saints, and the Jets are the last winless team in football. Has there been a worse weekend in New York sports recently? Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg today at 3 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
The Fox Nation Patriot Awards returns for a new year.
Are you ready to get the show started?
Join host Sean Hannity and special guests and be part of the celebration live in New York. Tickets are available now. Go to foxnation.com/Patriot Awards.
Friends, it's football season, the best time of the year. You should be out there tailgating, cheering on your team, and enjoying every Sunday. But if you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, sciatica, or nerve pain, even getting off the couch can feel like a challenge. You don't have to live like that. There's help. Dr. Jay Shaw at Sandwell Pain is New Jersey's top pain specialist. He's Ivy League trained, double board certified, and is dedicated to helping you get back in the game. Here's what makes the difference. No surgery, no scars, no long recovery, no pain medication. Just precise, non-surgical image-guided procedures that deliver real results. Dr. Shaw treats neck pain, back pain, joint pain, migraines, nerve pain, and sciatica with a plan that's customized for you. Same-day and next-day appointments are available, and with offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood, relief is always close. So don't let pain keep you on the sidelines this season. Visit SandwellPain.com to call, text, or book online. Most major insurances are accepted. That's SandwellPain.com. Relief is closer than you think, and it starts today.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Bally Bet Sportsbook. Yo, Bally Bet stacked for football season. When it comes to sportsbook apps, it's undefeated. Check out that brand new parlay zone. Here's the kickoff. Build your bets and place them right on your phone. What? Live bets, daily boosts, and promos. Increase your odds so you can win more dough. Touchdown! Bally Bet's the play. Make game day more fun and download it today.
Must be 21 plus, New York only. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY.
Bally Bet, Sportsbook and Casino.
Download it.
Did you know you can get more with New York Lottery Plus?
You pulling my leg?
No, seriously. Just enter scratch off and draw game tickets and get more points.
Pulling a fast one?
No. And you can put your points towards chances to win gift cards, cash prizes, and more.
Is this a stunt?
No, you even get points for playing new games.
You're pulling my chain, aren't you?
No.
Pulling my finger?
What? No. Man, put that thing away.
Sorry.
Introducing New York Lottery Plus. Download the app, sign up, get more. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Your fantasy roster is set. The Smack Talk is heating up, and this season, ESPN Bet is giving you more ways to ride with your squad. Introducing the ESPN Bet Fan Center, where you can instantly link and bet on your fantasy teams right in the ESPN Bet app. An enhanced sports betting experience only from ESPN Bet, the sports book for sports fans. Make the connection today with ESPN Bet Fan Center and the ESPN Fantasy app. ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Download the app today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Hey, it's Desmond Howard. You want to win the weekend? It all starts with the tailgate. And for me, that means Kingsford Charcoal.
They've been bringing the flavor, the smoke, and the heat since 1920. No wonder they're still the gold standard of grilling. So fire it up, feed your crew, and let the smoke do the talking. Kingsford, the king of the tailgate. Get it today at the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
From the regular season to the Super Bowl, ESPN New York is your destination for football. We've got crazy fans.
If the Giants somehow beat the Cowboys, I'm going to take a dump on your head.
You can feel good because you're a damn football team. Expert analysis.
Marcus Spears joins us now. ESPN NFL analyst Damian Woody.
Mel Kiper Jr.
The Hall of Famer Steve Young.
He's kind of our resident general manager, Louis Riddick.
We got Mike Tannenbaum right now.
And all your fantasy and wagering needs. This is ESPN New York. We are football.
The Jets should be thanking the lucky stars that the Yankees are in the playoffs, because we'd really be going all in on the fact that they're the last winless team in football. The last. All the promises of a changed culture. Now it's, well, this takes a long time. He didn't sell it that way, that it was going to take this long, that it was going to be this ugly. Not good. Not good. Let's go to Glenn in Connecticut. Glenn.
Hey, Michael. Thanks for taking my call.
You got it.
So I'm on board with you. I think that a lot of the blame gets put on Boone and Judge for whatever reason is beyond me. If you have a problem with Judge, get your head examined. But I do think an organizational shift needs to happen with the Yankees if they get swept by the Blue Jays or lose this series. I don't know. I don't know if it's Cashman, Boone. I think something needs to happen because you talk about the definition of an insanity. We're going on 10 years of the Yankees underperforming in the playoffs, and I think something needs to happen just to wake up the fans or give them that something needs to happen, whether it's firing Boone, bringing in someone else. I just think something needs to happen, and I want to get your 2 cents on that.
Well, I mean, but you don't cost somebody his job just so you can, satisfy an angry fan base. When you say they've been unsuccessful in the playoffs, they did get to the World Series last year. Now, they lost in 5 games. I get it. Major disappointment, but unsuccessful. They got to the World Series. So there's 4 teams left in the American League, right? The Yankees last won in 2009. The Blue Jays last won in 1992. The Tigers last won in 1984. And Seattle has never been to the World Series. So we look at things through our myopic lens. Yeah, not winning a championship for the Yankees is awful since 2009. Awful. That's not what they preach. But when you go on the other side of the fence in your backyard, that family has trouble too. Again, I'll tell you, the Tigers haven't won since 84. The Blue Jays haven't won since 92. And Seattle has never been to the World Series. So, yeah, New Yorkers think it's terrible. It's unconscionable. Here's if you let Boone go. You let Boone go if you think he's a bad manager and if you think he's lost the clubhouse. You don't let Boone go because the fans need something thrown their way. That's not a way to do business. Because fans should be taken into consideration, but if you let fans and their loud voices make decisions, what's the old saying? Well, you know what? You'll be sitting with them. By the way, the Blue Jays last won in 93. My bad. 93. So you do the math. That's 32 years ago. 84 for the Tigers, never for the Mariners. So we're all screaming, 2009, are you kidding me? Because we all got spoiled with 96, 98, 99, 2000, going to the World Series in 2001, going to the World Series in 2003. I get it. I'm not saying that you're wrong. But what I am saying is take a look at the rest of the world. The team across town hasn't won since 86. The Red Sox have won. They've won 40-1 in that time. But they've also finished last 5 times during that time when you keep going to the postseason. I don't think there's going to be an organizational shift. I'm sorry. You people might want it. There's not going to be. Some teams will look at this and go, wow, that's really successful. And I don't blame fans for saying it's not, because been sold championships with bust. I get it. But they did get to the World Series last year. To say that they can't, I don't know. That's a hard thing to sell, everybody. It's a really hard thing to sell. All right, coming up, Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. I'm sure they have a lot to talk about, both football and baseball. So stay tuned for them. And in the words of Billy Joel, life is a series of hellos and goodbyes. I'm afraid it's time for goodbye again. See, everybody, we'll talk to you again tomorrow at 1. The FanDuel Sportsbook app is your home for all your favorite NFL bets, from yards to touchdowns to who will win. With FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. Tonight, FanDuel is giving all customers a 30% PBT. That's right, you can get in on the action with a 30% PBT tonight during the Chiefs-Jaguars game on Monday Night Football. So make FanDuel your go-to app for any snap. Just visit FanDuel.com/K to bet on the game. Play your game with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. 21 plus and physically present in New York. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. For help with the gambling problem, call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.